Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is E3 with John Guns. You know I got to throw it in there. And Ray Rousing. You know I got to throw it in there.
How you doing, sir? How you doing today?
Hey, man. Hey, listen. I am like crazy excited and ready to go and motivated and all that kind of good stuff, man. So I want to welcome everybody to E3 with John Guns and Ray Rousing.
How's your day, sir? Listen, it's Monday. It's the start of a new week. Truthfully, whatever last week, good or bad, was to us, we're in a new week, which means we have a new opportunity to capitalize on things we did well, but also at the same token, bounce back from things that may have set us back last week.
Right. And it's interesting, man. And that's a great way to say that, because it's interesting. I believe that people who understand the power of bounce back, that's really good, Ray. People who understand the power of bounce back will definitely be motivated, inspired, and blessed to be their best selves. We want to encourage everybody right now to like and share, to invite. It's amazing what happens when you invite others to participate in your growth. Ray, how you doing, man? How you feeling?
I'll be honest. The week started off kind of hard, but I think one of the things that's been encouraging is I believe that no matter how hard your week starts off, as long as you're breathing, you have an opportunity to capitalize.
Absolutely. And what's really crazy, and right now I'm just kind of sharing and inviting some people to jump on. What's really crazy is when you understand that and you take advantage of that, life becomes easier, even if it gets harder. And so I want to invite everybody to jump on, invite and share, because you definitely don't want to miss tonight. E3 is about empowering, educating, and equipping others to live their best life. And so a lot of times when I come on, the goal is going to be just to drop principles and nuggets. And then, of course, Ray always participates with me in the conversation. And it gives me a chance to kind of hear some other perspective. And so I'm excited because tonight, Ray, we're talking about living with urgency while executing strategically. Living with urgency while executing strategically. Ray, before you kind of go back into the production mode, what is your definition of living of executing strategically? What's your definition?
My personal definition, sir, to executing strategically is using everything you have in your tool belt to accomplish every dream that you have. And to me, I say that because I think a lot of times it becomes easy to focus on what you may not have, the tools or the things that you feel like you wish you had. But everybody has something. What is that hammer that you have that you can use? What is the tool that you have? Because I've learned this. You can use what you have to get what you need, but it'll never happen. You can use what you have to get what you need, but if you never pull it out of the toolbox, you can never finish the job. I'm reminded of this, sir, and I yield to you afterwards. I am reminded I am not a great handyman. So people who know me know I am not Mr. Fix-It. I can do basic, generic household fixing. My wife knows this. My kids know this. Here's what I learned. I have learned the power of being great at what I am good at.
Wow.
So I can't fix if the sink bursts, you need to call the plumber. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't help you there. But if you need to hang pictures of paint, you can't find a better painter to hang a picture than me. And here's what I learned. Both are equally important. Imagine walking to the house where the plumbing is great, but it's not decorated. It's not appealing.
Sure.
You equally need both. And I think that being able to use what you have and being strategic, being smart about how you use it becomes important, Dr. Guns, because I feel like this, and then I promise I'll stop talking. It is like this. If you are gifted in creativity, not writing, not journaling, not putting it out there will not help you at all. We all have been created for something. And until you exercise that gift, until you begin to purposefully walk out that calling, you're not just wasting your time, but you're limiting the destiny of others, sir.
Bye. Get off. This is not E3 with Ray Routson. No, that's awesome, and that kind of leads us to where we want to go tonight, because it's interesting as I started to think about, one, where my life is, and two, where I want my life to go. At the age of 56, I understand that there are a couple of things I need to be doing. I need to be making sure that every day I am intentional in how I use the day. But second thing, I need to be making sure that I am purposeful in how I'm relating to others as I go about my day. Okay, watch this. Intentional and purposeful. So today we want to really hit this thing about urgency, because I think that one of the challenges that a lot of us are having is that we struggle to be urgent, because we think that every day will lead to another day. And what we fail to understand is that if you do not recognize that every day may be the last day, and you have to be willing to make the sacrifices to make this day what it should be, then what you're going to do is you're going to wake up and you're going to mishandle today, and then you're going to be unprepared to do what you need to do for tomorrow. And so let's first of all talk about what urgency is. And you can put this in the thread. The first thing is urgency is not chaos. Urgency does not equate chaos. Urgency isn't about how fast you're doing it or whether you're doing it hastily. Urgency has nothing to do with how quickly you get something done. That's not urgency. And because most people equate urgency with this kind of running around, chaotic way of managing life, it's almost like the wedding is supposed to start at 3 and the bride doesn't get there till 2:50 and everybody's running around now, trying to get things straight. That's not urgency. Urgency is really about two things. Urgency is about doing it the right way while being deliberate in the execution of it. Make sure you get this. It's about doing it the right way while making sure that you are deliberate in doing it. Now, one of the amazing things is that for me, urgency requires swift action, but it also requires that you are clear about what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Urgency requires swift action, but it also requires that you're clear about what it is you're trying to accomplish. And so if you are indecisive, if you are an indecisive person, urgency is going to work against you. You're never going to be urgent because you're going to be constantly making bad decisions or delaying good decisions for fear that you're going to make the wrong decision. And so at some point in your life, you have to enter into a place of decisiveness. Okay, this is the direction I'm going in. This is how I'm going to live out my life. This is the thing that I believe I'm created to do. And this is what I'm going to give my best self to. This is my investment in life, which means that you have to choose a path. You have to then live urgently by executing what is required for that path to produce what you are created and called to do. I think one of the most amazing things is when you watch someone who lives out their life with urgency, what you're watching is not someone who's running around like a chicken with their head chopped off. A person that's living in life with urgency is prioritizing, that their priorities are in order, their decision-making process is clear, and they are focused in doing the things that are necessary to be done to bring about the accomplishment of the goals or the aspirations or the objectives that they are clear about. Are you getting it? So when you see an urgent person, you want to know what you really see? You see someone who wakes up every day intentional, purposeful, clearly defining their life, thus making decisions that feed into the bigger thing. And what's the bigger thing? Their vision for their life. The urgent person then stops doing two things. The first thing is that they stop wasting time. They stop wasting time. The urgent person stops wasting time. But here's the second thing the urgent person does, is that they do everything with a goal or an end in mind. So when you start living urgently, you are waking up every day. Watch it. We're building the argument tonight. You wake up every day intentional, purposeful, a clearly defined objective, and a clear, focused decision-making process. And you bring all of this together, and then you streamline it towards what you are called to do. So not only do you know what you're trying to do, you also know what you're called to do. And when you marry what you're called to do with what you are called to be doing, while you're called to be that person, then what happens is everybody around you now becomes accountable to the pace of your life. That doesn't mean that you aren't relational with everybody else's agendas and goals, but everyone around you now feels the pace of your life. They now feel the urgency of your life. At 6 o'clock every Monday, my whole house stops. My whole house stops. At 6 o'clock on Monday, my wife becomes a partner in helping me get set up. At 6 o'clock on Monday, Taylor, who is the last child in the house, goes upstairs, closes her door, and everything in the house becomes quiet. At 6 o'clock, the TV gets turned down. At 6 o'clock, everything aligns with E3 with John Guns. Why? Because this is a part of the urgency of my life. Here's what's deep. If something you're called to doesn't bring accountability to everybody in your space, then either you have the wrong people in your space or you have not clearly defined what's urgent. Wow. Because at some point in your life, everything about your life should be driven by the sense of urgency by which you are committed to. So when you are an urgent person, you're not living chaotic. You're not living out of control. You're not running around like a chicken with your head chopped off. When you are living in urgency, you are creating a healthy system of priority. Your priorities are so clear. Everybody around you can pick up your priorities. Okay, he's committed to being a great musician. She's committed to being a great photographer. They're committed to building a great marriage. I'm committed to growing out, empowering, educating, and equipping others with for your best lives. E3. I'm committed to creating it. And so I'm doing the things that bring to bear what it is I'm committed to. I'm committed to educating, equipping, and empowering people. I'm committed to that. So I wake up every day and everything about my life is being framed out by those three words. Again, let's go back. Urgency is not chaos. It's not running around like a chicken with your head chopped off. Urgency is deliberate, and yet it requires swift action. Urgency is about being intentional, purposeful, clear identity, and clear decision-making process. Let's try it again. Intentional, purposeful. You got it? Intentional, purposeful. In fact, some of you ought to put it in the thread. Intentional, purposeful, clear identity, clear decision-making, right? And you put all of this together, and this creates the boundaries by which an urgent life exists. An urgent person then is going to always seem focused on something. They're going to always seem like they're trying to get something done. And so when you become, watch this, when you become intentional and purposeful, clear identity, and you have a clear decision-making process and approach, and that even includes who's a part of your decision-making process. And I'll come back to that in a minute. That even it has to do with who is a part of your decision-making process, who participates in your time of making decisions, who is involved in your decision-making process. We'll come back to that in a minute. So watch this. Intentional, purposeful. There you go. You guys are getting it. Clear identity and clear decision-making. So when I get ready to purchase something like a new car or a new house, all right, what's the purpose of purchasing it? How intentional am I going to be in making sure that it gets in doing what needs to be done? What is my sense of identity? What are my boundaries? And what are my expectations? Then finally, how do I make the decision to get it done? Here's one of the things that I want everybody to grasp. If you wake up every day and you're not sure about why you're waking up, and you're not sure about what the day should look like, when you get to the end of it, you would have got nothing done, but you would have been busy all day. Which means, you ready? You will be exhausted from physical exertion, but you will have no mental fulfillment because you cannot identify what the day accomplished. When you live with urgency, then you wake up every day and you're intentional and you're purposeful. You wake up every day and you are so clear about what this day is supposed to accomplish. And you wake up every day and you decide what I need to do to make this day matter. So let's go back to some of the things that needs to happen. Let me give you 3 helpful hints. First thing is, when you're urgent, you calendar it. When you're urgent, it's in your calendar. When you're urgent, you calendar it. So if you're in ministry, let's say you pastor a church or you are leading a nonprofit, but you work another job, right? You work another job, right? You get up every day and you work your other job, okay? But nowhere in your day is built in what you feel called to do. Know the difference between what you are employed to do and what you're called to do. Now, the joy would be that employment and calling are the same thing. But for many of us, it's not. Okay? So what you're urgent about, you need to calendar. I really want to push you on this. You're going to wake up one day and you're going to be too old to accomplish it because you didn't do the necessary things. The first thing you got to calendar. The second thing you got to do is that you got to build relationships around your urgency. You got to build relationships around your urgency. And why? Because you need to have relationships that allows you to clearly do what you need to do and not be distracted, right? And so I got an opportunity right now. I'm not sure how the opportunity is going to work itself out. So I need something done for the opportunity to even have an opportunity, to be an opportunity, right? So I have someone in my life now who I can pick up the phone, call and say, hey, this is what I'm dealing with. Can you help me? And they said, I got you. Send me the information. So immediately I reach out to my wife, who's my assistant. I said, this is what I need. She says, okay, we'll get this done and da. Now, by the end of the evening, what I need is going to get done, right? Charity, God has given charity to me to be a partner. Then my wife, who is my partner. And so now these two entities are coming together to help me achieve it. Building relationships around your urgency means that you can continue to be urgent because the people in your life will help you be purposeful, intentional, clearly identifiable in terms of who you are. And then they will help you with your decision-making process. You see it? Is that you'll wake up every day and your relationships will help you. If your relationships are not helping you, then they're not relationships you want in your life. Because relationships that you want in your life are going to help you. I'm a stickler for building relationships. Because one of the dangers, and it is one of the few times I'm going to invoke, spiritual language tonight, but one of the dangers that the enemy attempts to insert into our life is that he attempts to distract us by making us busy without ever making us effective. He wants to distract us by making us busy but we never are effective. But here's the third thing, and I saw it today. It was interesting. I had to run out because I'm we're building out some things and we're expanding some things. And so for the first time in our marriage, we've opened up an account at a credit union because someone told me a credit union is what you need to have. And so we have accounts at several banks, and one of them now includes a credit union. Watch this. My wife will tell you, when I got the information and I got the encouragement to do it, within 2 days, we were at a bank we were at a credit union. Okay, I'm gonna throw this in for free. How long does it take you to execute information that advances your vision? Wow, that's good. Many of us get information, but we don't execute the information, and then we miss the season. Okay, Lord help me. So something amazing happened today. Had an incredible lesson today. You ready? Incredible lesson. Ray, this was an incredible lesson. I got home and there were some ducks in our front in our yard, right? I don't know where they came from, but there were some ducks in the yard. So you know what I did? I went in the house. I told my wife, I said, hey, I want to feed the ducks. So she looked at me, was like, okay, which bread? I said, we got these hot dog buns over here. And so I went and got the hot dog buns, right? I went and got the hot dog buns. And I went and the ducks were standing out there. So I started throwing the hot dog. I started throwing the bread, right? I started throwing the bread, Cotton. I started throwing the bread. But something amazing happened. One of the ducks started walking towards me, right? The other ducks, I would throw it and they were just chasing the bread. But one duck started walking towards me. So whenever I threw the bread at that duck, he had no competition. And this duck understood the source of the bread. Here's what I want to challenge you with. Do you understand the source that will produce what you desire? And are you drawing closer to that source? Do you understand who it is that can help you? Yes, it begins with God. But what other things are a part of helping you accomplish what you want to accomplish? What other things are a part of it? What systems do you need to develop? What processes do you need to develop? What relationships do you need to develop? What things do you need to have flushed out of your system? What are the bad habits that delay activity? What are the things that are getting in the way? What are the things that somehow frustrate you? Listen, at some point in your life, you've got to be able to identify the things that you feel called and created to. So let's recap, and then we're going to close. Urgency is not chaos. It's not running around like a chicken with your head chopped off. It's not this kind of helter-skelter way of living. That's not urgency. That's called disorder. Know the difference. Here's urgency. Urgency is intentional, purposeful, clearly identified, clear identity, and clear decision making. You calendar it, you build relationships around it, and then you understand the sources that produce what you are urgent about. Let's do it again. Intentional, purposeful, clear identity, clear decision-making process, right? You calendar it. I'm going to say this almost every week. You calendar it, you build relationships around it, and then you understand the source. You understand the sources that can help you get it done, right? So at the end of the day, you're not wasting Tuesday. You are perfecting Tuesday for Friday. So every week now, whether it's Sunday night or first thing Monday morning, I write out on my whiteboard everything I want to get done for the week. I write it all out. And I connect it to what is urgent for me. Nothing goes on that board that's not a part of my urgency. Nothing goes on that board that isn't about my intentionality, my purposefulness. Nothing goes on that board. I am learning to stay away from the stuff that doesn't fit my board. Listen, I want to encourage you to do something. We started something called E3 with John Gunn's inspirational text messages. And so right now, for free, doesn't cost you anything. Right now, if you have not joined, I want you right now to text E3, type E3, text E3 to 84576. Text E3 to 84576 right now. Pull out your device and text E3 to 84576. Do it right now. Do it right now and become a part of the E3 community, where every morning, Monday through Friday at 8 o'clock, you will receive from me an inspirational text. My frat brother asked me something real interesting. He said, John, are these your words? Every text is my words, right? So every day, Monday through Friday, I'm going to release to you an inspirational text. Go right now and text E3 to 84576. We are now at over 200 people who have joined the E3 community. I want to challenge you to do that. The third weekend in March, I'm going to spend Friday and Saturday creating something called the E3 Engagement Weekend. It's where anyone who wants to join and connect will connect. Here's the final thing. I started last week. I am looking for 100 people to become investors in the E3 vision. The E3 vision is about encouraging people to do their best, to be their best, and to walk out their best. We are now creating curriculum, and we're creating products such as the John Gunn's Leadership Academy, such as the E3 Engagement Circles. We're putting Your Marriage Matters under E3. And we're also putting seminary on Sunday. And we're building it out now. We're building it out. I maybe gave it away. My consultant probably said, what are you doing? You're probably right? But we need 100 people to help us accomplish this goal of building it out. And so you can join the E3 Engager Circle with a donation of $56 tonight. We've already had about over 20 people who have done it, which is awesome, but we need 80 more to become investors. I'm not promising you that you're going to get a blessing tomorrow. What I am promising you is that you will become a part of something amazing. And then in March, everyone who sows the $56 will be given free access to the weekend, but you will also get an opportunity to get some extra bonuses as a part of it. So right now, if you will do two things right now, text E3 to 84576 and join me in becoming an E3 Engager Circle partner by donating $56 to Cash App $E3JEG. $E3JEG. Come on, become a partner, and let's go do amazing things together. And remember, this is the week that you live urgent, intentional, purposeful, based upon clear identity and clear decision making. And when you do these four things, you have to calendar, you have to build relationships around it, and then you have to constantly know where your source comes from. Thank you guys so much. Come on back, Ray. Thank you, man, as always, for being my partner in this. Yes, sir.
Wow, what amazing. I think, while there are roughly 50 some people still logged on across our platforms, here's truth. You cannot get this type or level of information that is custom for free anywhere else. I say that because you can go on YouTube. Yes, you can. But if we're honest, this information is specific to where you are right now. I want to challenge everybody who's listening, the 55 or 56 people still up here. If you have not already done so, become an investor in the Engager Circle. Bishop, just since you started the broadcast, I'm looking at the numbers. We've had 24 people sign up to become part of the E3 community, and we thank you for that. Go ahead. I want to challenge them to do that. I think one of the things that becomes imperative for all of us, to everybody watching, never get so caught up in just receiving that you miss the opportunity to give. I think that it's very important that we never become so accustomed to eating that we never go back and thank the cook. I love to eat. I love to go to great restaurants. And the truth of the matter is, I am one of those people that if the food is phenomenal, I want to meet the cook. And I think that, Dr. Guns, we have an opportunity each week to meet the cook and to eat well. So again, if you have not already done it, I want to implore you and encourage you to go ahead. You don't want to miss this weekend. I tell you this is one thing I know about Dr. Guns. When we hit that number, it's over. You don't want to be one of the people in March who missed the opportunity to get in now. And so go ahead and join the Investor Circle. Sir, amazing as always. I mean, what do you say? I think we got our marching orders for the week. I think that you have kind of laid the blueprint for us on how to navigate the next few days. And so amazing. I want to challenge somebody who's saying, because there's always one who's saying, you know, what about the oppositions that I face? What about the things standing in my way? I think tonight, one of the things that we have learned is how to move beyond whatever limitations we have. And Dr. Gunn, one of the things that, as you were talking, that I wrote down is sometimes the size of the opposition that we face is a sign of the strength that we have.
Absolutely.
And so Dr. Guns has given us what to do to move with urgency and to calendar. And so again, don't just take this and write it down and don't go back to it. As soon as this is over, find some people, share this, but then get a journal. I'm challenging you. I have one. Get a journal where you can write this down so you can grow. Here's why, Dr. Guns, and I'm going after this, so that a month from now, you can track your success.
Yes.
So that's all I have. It is always a pleasure to be with you in this moment. I appreciate it. To our E3 family, thank you all so much. And until next week, have a great one. Have a strong week.
I know. And listen, already we've gotten 3 people who become an investor. Thank you for investing in E3. Thank you for becoming a partner. Thank you for joining the E3 family. Listen, right now we're up to over 200 people. Our goal by next Monday is to be over 300. So here's the other thing you can help us do. Send out text E3 to 84576 to 5 people. If everyone sends it out to 5 people, we will reach our goal, because every week we want to grow by at least 100 new people. Because I'm excited about this. And I'll tell y'all this. Sometimes you can be tired during the day, but you know what? We're determined, Ray and I are determined to get on every Monday and help you. Whether he knows it or not, he is my co-host. Whether he knows it or not, he is my co-host. And it's crazy because there's a lot of incredible wisdom in Ray. And I love him and I thank God for him. Guys, be blessed, be safe, and know that we got you. And we'll see y'all on next Monday, 6 o'clock. Be empowered, be educated, and be equipped, because you are living your best life. Take care.